Welcome to the Pixel Marketing Show, the podcast for real estate media pros who want to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results. I'm your host, Pete Stagel, founder of Pixel CRM and creator of the Pixel Marketing Method. And every week, we're diving into the systems, strategies, and real stories that help you attract better clients, retain them longer, and grow a real business. Let's get into it. If you caught the last episode, you know we did something special. I shared part one of my interview with Rachael and Neal on their podcast. We unpacked the backstory of my business journey and how the Pixel Marketing Method was born. Today, we're diving into part two, and this is where it gets really practical. We move past the why and start digging into the how. You'll hear us talk about proven ways to stay top of mind with your clients, from consistent touchpoint systems like the 36 Touch Framework to simple but powerful strategies like newsletters, hot sheets, gifting, and referral campaigns. This part of the conversation is all about retention and growth, the things that keep your pipeline full and your clients loyal long after that first shoot. You'll hear stories from my own experience running a real estate media company, plus examples of how to adopt agent-style systems into something that works for our industry. If you've ever wondered how to plug the leaks in your marketing bucket or how to turn satisfied clients into raving fans who come back again and again, this is the episode you'll want to pay close attention to. So let's jump back into part two of my conversation with Rachael and Neal.
All right. So what else is in the book, Pete? What else you got?
So we've only gotten to step 4. That's the first impression framework. Then it goes into the client connection roadmap. And do either of you know what the 36 touch system is?
Nope.
Okay. Gary Keller of Keller Williams came up with the concept of a 36 touch system.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
What is it? A couple times. Yes, I have heard it actually on the mindset calls that we do. They did mention this. It's like, what is it? Like 2 touches a month or something like that? Or I forget. To turn it into a warm lead or something like that, right?
So ultimately what it is, it's a outreach and a client touch point process that they pioneered. And sometimes you'll see it as the 40 touch system, or the, people have adapted it and changed it. Ultimately, it's a cadence to reach out to your SOI, your sphere of influence, which is what the agents are taught, of, email, texting, calls, direct mail, events, pop buys, gifts. And so it's a whole strategy around, showing up for your target market so that they know that you exist and they remember that you exist. You segment your list so you have the people that are most likely to do business with you and the people that are not as likely, and you A, B, and C, and you do different things for each one. That's what our agents are all taught in some aspect to stay top of mind with their sphere of influence, so that when they are ready to list their house, they're the first agent that comes to mind. When somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to list my house," your name is the first name that they're going to refer to that friend. And so we took that and adapted it to real estate media companies. So there's some stuff in here that agents do that you're not going to do. You're not going to put on a community, dump day. That doesn't make sense for you. You're not going to do, but you might do an event at a model home and shoot a templated reel for everybody. You might put an event like that on. You might do, obviously you do emails and text messages, and you're going to celebrate milestones and events that are important to them. This gets into even some more stuff from a gifting and appreciation standpoint. We like celebrating birthdays and shoot anniversaries. The anniversary of the date that they first started working with you, because those two are dates that most people aren't all getting together and celebrating with them, and so you can actually stand out. There's a book by John Rowland, Giftology. I don't know if either of you read that.
You told me
that book shows. So the concept behind it is that you want to actually gift with a gift, not a promo item. But it should be at a time that you can stand out. And as real estate media providers, we don't have the huge budgets that the title company does, or the lenders do, or anybody else in the real estate media or real estate industry. And so if we're trying to show up during Thanksgiving and Christmas when everybody else is, you're going to do a nice little small gift basket. Thank you for your business. I'm going to toss it on the break room table with all these other big ones. You don't stand out. But when you even just acknowledge the, $5 Starbucks gift card, or, any number of different things that you could do to celebrate their birthday, celebrate anniversary of the first time that they did a shoot with you, even just thanking them, you stand out way more at that time than you would if you were trying to do it all during the holidays. And so, which kind of goes into another step here, but
Psst. Sorry to interrupt. If you haven't heard, Rach and I are using Pixel CRM.
Pixel CRM isn't just another boring tool. It's basically your business's best friend. With Pixel CRM, you can automate your lead generation, follow-ups, client communication, and stay top of mind with email campaigns. And there's just so much more.
And if you want, you can try it out today. Just go to pixelcrm.com/STS, and you're going to get the first month of Pixel CRM free.
We have a whole process of setting up nurture sequences and doing weekly newsletters and hot sheets and any number of things to stay top of mind. There's a story in the book that I tell a lot, is that I was, back when I had my systems all duct taped together, I was switching email platforms. I don't even know what it was. It was from one to another, and I stopped doing my weekly newsletter for a couple weeks. And during that time, I was doing a headshot event at a local association, and I didn't know who was going to be there, but people are coming in and out, and I'm just doing headshots. And one of a past client comes in and says, "Oh, you're still doing this? I haven't gotten your emails in forever." And so, I just thought that you moved on to something else. And it's like, really? It's like, I didn't think anybody was reading my email newsletter. I didn't think but what it was is I was showing up in the inbox every week. It doesn't matter if they read the email. It doesn't matter if they're getting that. Yes, you want it to be valuable, but if they're not reading it, they're not getting any value out of it. It's the fact that you're showing up.
Yep.
Your name, your business name is showing up in their inbox every week, and it's like, okay, they're still there. Okay, they're still there. And you're staying top of mind, even if it's, way back in the back of their mind. You're still there. And so, putting a process in place so it just happens automatically. You're constantly reaching out. You're constantly, staying top of mind. That's how you plug that hole in your marketing bucket of, making sure that they know that you exist still. And this is an interesting piece too, because a lot of real estate photographers think that, well, of course I still exist. This is my livelihood. This is my business. Of course I'm not going anywhere. But if you think about it from the agent standpoint, real estate photography has gotten a lot more standardized, a lot more it's grown a lot in the last 5-10 years. Historically, who was shooting houses from a professional photography standpoint? The same people that were doing weddings, the same people that were doing headshots and portraits and landscapes. And real estate was just kind of another ancillary thing that they did. And so from an agent standpoint, it kind of makes sense that you may not be here, because there's actually a lot of turnover in real estate photographers. And there's still a lot of it because people get into it. They don't have the systems in place. They don't have the right mentorship. They don't know how to get clients and whatnot. And they get into it because they think it's going to be profitable, and then it's not. And so they bail. And so people are still coming in and out of the industry. And so agents look at it as like, I don't know if you're still in business. Doesn't matter how professional you were or how great your product was. If you're not staying top of mind, they don't know that you exist. And so when somebody new pops up, it's like, oh, if this new guy probably took that guy's place, so why don't you just use this guy? And that's what's going on behind the scenes in this business that a lot of photographers just aren't realizing. And so if you don't stay top of mind, somebody else will. And it may just be that free shoot that just popped up in their DM that they just happen to have a listing for, and they don't remember who they used last time because they haven't seen them. They say, oh yeah, I'll give this guy a shot. And then you don't see them ever again unless you reach out to them.
Yeah.
And
I've been doing a monthly newsletter since I started this business. And I am always shocked when random agents reach out to me who I haven't seen or heard from in years. I'm sending them my newsletter, but they obviously don't see it. And they're like, are you still doing real estate photos? Like, yeah. Are you not on social? Do you live under a rock? Because I swear I send you a newsletter and I'm very active on social. But yeah, and you think about it, like if I've used people in the past, different services, whatever, and I want to use them again, but I just can't remember their name. I'm like, shoot, I can't find them on my phone because I can't remember their darn name. If they were sending me a newsletter every week, there's no doubt that I wouldn't remember their name. So it really is powerful. I am a big one on that, like staying top of mind. And
I've done that before too with some things. I'm like, they keep getting a newsletter for the jeans that I once looked at, and so I'm like, I do need jeans now. Like, right, fall's coming. What was the name of that thing? And so I searched jeans, and then there's a bunch of emails from this guy, and I go buy jeans. So yeah.
And so many of the emails that I get because I'm into marketing as well. I love marketing. And so I have a lot of things that I get put my email out there way too much. So I get all these emails from people, and some of them are great. They're packed with so much value. So I'll just open them randomly and read it, and eventually something hits, like something emotionally triggers me to want to buy from this person. I had a gal that I'd been following for 2 years. It was about social media content strategy. 2 years. And finally I opened it up and I was like, what is this chick about? I keep seeing her emails. Obviously I haven't deleted her yet to get something from it. And I started reading all of her emails as they came through, and she hit with F the algorithm, like learning how to post and not having to follow trends. And I was like, oh, bingo. That sounds great. I'm so sick of trying to do all the trendy stuff. So it's all about your messaging, how you can hit those emotional triggers. And it's just about staying top of mind. I think it's fascinating to me, and so simple. We just need the system to set it up so it's not so much darn work.
Yeah. To give you an idea, when I was running my business, I would actually send 2 emails out to my list every week. I would send out a marketing tip, and so I was recording videos. Like, again, I like to educate my agents, and so it would be a marketing tip, 2 or 3 minute long video that I would put on a blog and on YouTube and social media. And I would email that out on Monday. And then on Friday, I would do a hot sheet email. And this was just that week's most recently activated property websites, listings that went live that we shot. And I would send that out. And we don't do this in Pixel CRM at the moment, but we probably right around PMRE time or the first of the year, we'll have an automated way to do this. So as your listings are delivered, it'll just automatically send you an email. The great thing about the hot sheet email is that it's valuable. And it's valuable for a couple of reasons. Agents were looking at this email because they wanted to see, what newly went live, but it also showcased the quality of our work, because we're just putting all of our shoots out there, linking to the property website so that they could actually see all of the photos and the video and the floor plan and the drone and everything else that we were doing. But it also showcased who we were shooting for.
That's what I was going to say.
So it was this little
social proof.
Exactly. Exactly. And so they'd say, oh, I know that guy. He's a top producer. They shoot for him? Huh. Maybe I should use you, more often or
I like that. And also you're advertising for them, which they appreciate, right?
Exactly.
That's huge.
It's a great way to provide value where they actually open the email and they start, really looking at it. There's something else I was going to say. I can't remember though.
It's very important.
But realtors are very much that way, that they want to be like somebody else in the industry. And we've got a lot of clients who've come just from like the top 5 clients we work with. Oh, I saw you work with that person. And that's all they needed to come work with us. So yeah, showing up. And there is that page, I think you can have it on or off, but in HD Photo Hub, there is that page that shows all the recent shoots. And there are some of my clients that are like, oh yeah, I saw you did that shoot with so-and-so. They like think they got the inside scoop,
Yep. And that's ultimately how I originally did the hot sheet email, was we were using HD Photo Hub, and we had that page, and then we take screenshots of each listing, put it into the email,
gotcha.
Link it all together. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
that would
be.
Do it. If you've got a VA, go ahead, take that idea, run with it. But like I said, towards the PMRE time or the beginning of the year, we'll have that, so it automatically just does it for you. You can just kind of turn it on, and it'll do an email with your hot sheet each week.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I'm not saying that you load up, the 10,000 agents that are in your area, and you just load it up and just start sending them to this. That's not a good option. That's not a good idea. The whole point of the transitional offer and the marketing that you're doing, when you're doing cold outreach, you only are outreaching about that one offer that you're talking about, and you only do a few outreaches because you don't want to piss people off. Once they raise their hand, now you're going to market to them until they either buy from you or unsubscribe.
Right.
And so that's where you're sending the hot sheet. That's where you're sending your newsletter.
Your warm lead. Yeah. The people.
You go from there all the way in until they decide that they don't want to hear from you ever again. So
sweet.
Which hopefully it doesn't happen.
Exactly. So that was the client connection roadmap. The next one was reviews and referral mastery. We kind of touched on this earlier. Asking for reviews, asking for feedback on a consistent basis, and then asking for referrals. Referrals are one of those finicky things that people, when you ask most photographers, where does the bulk of your business come from? Oh, it's word of mouth from referrals. But they don't have a system to do that. They don't have a way to consistently bring in new referrals. And so this is where, like I said, we tack this right on the end of the referral process. We tack it on the end of the feedback process if they've already left a referral or left a review. I recommend doing a mass ask all of your clients 4 times a year, every 3 months. Do a referral push. You could even do this as a contest. A buddy of mine, he owned a Airbnb up in the mountains, and so he tested this and did this option, and he just did for the month of, I think he actually did it for like 2 months. These 2 months, whoever refers the most booked shoots will be entered to win a weekend stay at his Airbnb. And that's where I came up with the idea of a referral contest. But you could do this as tickets to a sporting event in your local town. You could do it for dinner for 2 at a nice restaurant. You could do any number of contest options there. But the whole thing there is that it generates referrals. It generates a reason for you to be asking for referrals. And that's what most photographers have a problem with is like, well, I don't know when I should ask. Sound pushy if I ask for a referral or anything like that. And people just feel almost slimy about asking for referrals when to do that. And so this gives you a way to do it in a fun, eventful way. And it also allows you another touch point to reach out to people. This goes back to the client connection roadmap of just making these little touch points throughout the year. And this gives you a reason. You have a contest, you're running a promotion, you're doing this, for the month of this, whoever refers us the most people that actually book a shoot, we'll give, whatever.
Pete, I used to do a manual referral, which was a discount on their next shoot, and I didn't have a cap on it. If they referred somebody who booked, I just tracked it, and that's why I stopped doing it, because it got too confusing to track who referred who. But I used to do a manual discount for them, applied it to their next shoot. Is that something that's automated to do, but then maybe implement the strategy of a gift instead of a discount to automate a credit card, a Visa gift card of $25 or $50 if somebody bought a shoot and they were referred and they entered their code for referral or whatever?
So we'll cover a little bit more with the difference between appreciation and rewards in the next step. But to your question there, yes, we track it, because here's the thing. A lot of these, HC Photo Hub has the code that you can, put your referral code in there. And how many people have you seen actually use that code?
Very few.
I just had somebody ask me about it. Is the only reason it was top of mind, because they're like, oh, should we have done a referral code? Because so-and-so told us. And I said, no, we're not really have it set up, but I'm definitely going to text them and say, thank you so much.
Yeah. And so what we found is that those referral codes are great to track, but nobody uses them. And they don't use it because it's too far down the funnel. When you refer somebody, you're not going to just immediately go and book a shoot. You're going to, but that person's going to, go to your website, look at your, what you're doing, make sure that you actually can do what they need you to do. They're not going to do it right down there. And so what we like to do is we like to send them to, and again, you can do all of this in Pixel CRM. We track everything in there. I like sending all traffic should go to a landing page so you can capture information and follow up. If they go straight to your shopping cart, you can't follow up with them. And so you want to be able to capture their information and follow up and nurture them along and make sure that you get them to come back and book a shoot. We send them to a landing page with whatever our referral offer is. And so that's where we want to send people. That way we can capture and can track who was referred by who booked and who didn't. And then we can trigger off notifications to you So whatever it is you happen to be, and you can absolutely do, $50 credit or a discount on their next shoot, and just add that credit to their account. And so we'll send you a notification, say so and so referred this person, and they finally booked their shoot. It's booked and paid for. Now you can credit them for giving them the referral. But this is where you give the person who is referred to you your introductory offer. Again, you want to go stack that full of value, give them a real reason to book you rather than somebody else, and then you want to reward your current client once they actually book. And so we track all of that and make it so it's very easily so that you can do it along with sending the messaging back and forth. So we have a referral form that they can actually put the referrals in, and they'll get an email saying, "Thanks for referring John Doe. If they book a shoot, we'll let you know, and you'll get your gift of $50 credit." The person that they referred will get "Hey, you were or your friend Jane Doe thought that you could use our services," and you explain your introductory offer. And then you can put them in a nurture process to get them to book that introductory offer. And then, of course, when they book, we're tracking all of that to make sure that it all gets tracked. And you can see in Pixel CRM how many people they referred, how many people booked, and what their names were even. So they can actually track back, John Doe was referred by Jane Doe and booked a shoot. Cool, I should, reach out. And then you can automate the thanking of them too. Because that's the thing. It's like, hey, you referred Jane Doe. They booked their shoot. We want to thank you, for the referral, and your credit will be applied to your account shortly. And then you can also trigger a reminder for yourself, so you can actually give them a phone call and say, "Hey, I really want to thank you for that referral." Because here's the thing: if you don't do that thank you, you don't appreciate the person for referring another person, they're less likely to refer again. Mm-hmm. And so that's what that whole reviews and referral mastery section is all about. Is there's pieces that everybody knows they should be doing, but then there's a lot of content like that makes sense. That's what I really should be doing. The follow up thank you calls. I really should be doing some better tracking so I can actually see how this these actually plays out. Like I was saying, leads us into the client loyalty amplifier, which is part 7 of the framework, where we cover the difference between appreciation and rewards. Rewards are a $50 credit. That's a reward. You get $50 off your next shoot. We'll put it on your account. That's just rewarding the business for doing business with you. Appreciation is appreciating the person. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They'll do promo items, or they'll do, do this and I'll give you a free drone on your next shoot, or what have you. Agents are already expecting I'm paying for this stuff. So it's not, they don't feel as appreciated when they get a reward that's, for the business. They feel appreciated when it's a $10 gift card to Starbucks, when it's a gift that with purchase. One of the offers that we used to run, we have a minor league baseball team, which I'm actually going to go see here after this call, called the Isotopes here in Albuquerque. We would run promos during the summer when they were playing of get 2 free box level tickets to an Isotopes game when you buy one of our packages, and whatever promo that we're trying to do. That kind of a gift is an appreciation gift, because it's not something that they're going to use in their business. I mean, yes, they could absolutely give it to the homeowner as a gift as well, so it kind of makes them look good. But they can use it for themselves. It could be a spa day. It could be during Super Bowl. It could be a tailgate package where you do a charcuterie board and chips and dip and stuff like that, and you just put something like that together. There's a ton of stuff you could do. We have the River of Lights Christmas time light display and so we would do tickets to that during that time. Albuquerque is known for the International Balloon Fiesta, so when that was in town, we would do tickets to that. We have the tram, so we would do tickets to that. We were always doing that type of appreciation style gifts. None of it was get a branded T-shirt. None of it was get a coffee cup with Server 360 on it. None of it was business stuff that was masked as a gift.
That doesn't feel like a gift when you get a shirt that has your company logo on it, and now they're like, they're not dumb. I'm advertising your company. That's my gift. Yeah,
exactly. Same thing with like you said, $25 gift card to Amazon. It's okay.
Mhm.
It doesn't really. When you get a gift card as a gift, is it really a gift, or is it that they just couldn't come up with anything better, so they're giving me a gift card?
Well, that's how I feel about gift cards, but I'm
I
learning
know.
that the rest of the world doesn't feel that way because everybody in my family wants a gift card for birthdays, for
But
Christmas.
you know what? Why? You know why? Because
What?
you don't give good gifts,
No,
and so they want to buy their own stuff.
no,
If
not
you
true.
actually
They like
appreciate
shopping.
them, well, yeah, so there is that. But if you actually have a good appreciate, they feel appreciated by the gift, they're much more likely to want that over cold hard cash. Especially some of our top producers. Yeah, they don't care. A
Yeah,
$25 gift card when they're doing 100 listings a year they don't care.
yeah. Well, yeah, true. But yeah, and maybe like a Starbucks one is better because it's something fun for them to do. But I totally see the difference between a discount in the business versus something that isn't related, that you didn't get to show up and put your face in the shot and go, look what I gave them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
Totally.
And so, when you do that, when you start putting those types of things together, that's when you can put together loyalty programs and VIP programs, and you can reward your top producing agents. And I'm not saying you do a reward program like Panda Express or Chick-fil-A where you can go in and buy a bunch of stuff with points and stuff. That's just way too extravagant. Just do a punch card system. Just do you do every 10th shoot you're going to get something. And it could be a reward for the business where it's $100 off, $100 credit after your 10th shoot, or a free drone or something like that. You could do that. You want to appreciate the person too, somewhere along the lines in there. But maybe on their birthday or something, you do something a little more appreciation versus reward. But you do those types of reward programs, and you can get more information. So you can say, hey, join our birthday club where we'll give you a gift on your birthday, and every 10th shoot you get something, or call it a rewards program, call it something, call it a loyalty program. This is great because you get more information, which means you can outreach and reach out to them and send them a birthday card or what have you, which is, again, goes back to client connection roadmap. But it also gives you a reason, or gives you an answer to that new client who wants a discount. And you can say now, absolutely, we have our loyalty program in place, so every 10th shoot, you get this.
Mm.
Now you're changing the frame. You're changing the whole conversation, because now they're not asking for, it's like, well, we're going to give you a bunch of business. Can you do, a discounted rate? Sure. We have our program. This is how it works. Every 10th shoot you get this, or every 5th shoot, whatever program you want to put in place. But by doing that, you shut down that discount conversation, because again, now you're doing more of a value. Now you're not competing on price.
Dang, Pete, you got some good stuff in here. I love that. I love all of it. I'm like, I need it all. I just need time to implement it. Huh?
Well, Pete, you're a marketing specialist. What about this as a more personalized gift for them? What if I offered a singing telegram like an elf? You think that would work well?
In your case, probably. Because in that case, it'd be more of a face-to-face pop by. Going back to the client connection roadmap. It could probably work because you and your improv and stuff. Yeah.
I really kind of want to do it now, but not really. No.
Yeah.
I could dress up like Elf and sing, and it's my dad, and I'm singing. Do you remember? Yeah. It's like the most awkward thing ever. I love it.
You have to make a reel of that now.
Oh my gosh, I think so. I love it. Cool. So, all right, where that was step 7.
That was step 7. The next one is our reactivation rocket. And this is going back to that client status tracker where, I mentioned, early on, maybe even before we start recording, quite frankly, knowing when somebody booked a shoot. Built-in pixels here, and we have our stoplight system. It's green, yellow, red, right, inactive, and lost. And so we know where in the process client is, and we can trigger different things based off of that. And one of which is our reactivation rocket. And this is a 3-step process to get somebody to book again. And all it is triggered off of, if they haven't booked a shoot in the last 90 days, start off the reactivation rocket. And then we have a whole process built out where this is built from, again, going back to, like I said, Dan Kennedy, he brought this up in one of his trainings years ago of debt collector. They do this process. And if it works for somebody who doesn't have money, how much better is it going to work with somebody who does? And so, the concept is you call out the fact that that it's been too long since they've booked a shoot. And this goes back to what you were saying of tracking and making sure that you're reaching out when it's been too long. And you call out the fact that I was just checking my records. It seems it's been too long since you booked your last shoot. Here's a $50 gift card to use when you come back. And again, we're framing this as a gift card, not as a discount, because discounts, you're competing on price. Gift cards or gift certificates are a value that they have that they want to spend. And we put a expiration date to it, because this is now getting into real, hardcore marketing strategies of discounts and or gift cards and expiration dates and calling them all out and using psychological triggers. And so you do this, send them a email, you can send them a postcard even, then you wait 14 days. And then you send out another one. Say, a few weeks ago, we sent you a message saying it was too long to book a shoot. We gave you an offer. You didn't accept it. We're going to give you give you another chance to do it. Same thing. Same whole concept. And then you're going to wait until the expiration date, and you'll do a final push of twice now. We've sent you this message, and you keep stacking it that this is the first notice, second notice, final notice, and psychologically it drives people to do it. To give you an idea, before I sold my business, it was when I built this whole process, and we sent it to 250 past clients. Over the entire past history of my business, of people who used us once and never used us again, and what have you. And we brought 18 people back in within that first six weeks of running that campaign. Several of them had multiple shoots. It was like, I forgot you were in business. I was like, okay, great, thanks. And so overall we had several shoots and clients. I don't have long-term on that, my particular business, because I sold it at that point, and then I don't have long-term history on that now. But we have clients that are implementing this now, and they're seeing a ton of people. Because it's a very simple process, and this works way better when you haven't been doing everything else. Because if you haven't been following up, if you haven't onboarded people appropriately, you don't have a loyalty program or a review process, and you're just one and done. You do the shoot and you don't do any follow-up, you're going to bring in a lot of people just by doing this outreach. Ultimately, once you've gotten this entire process all done, from magnetic messaging all the way up here to reactivation rocket, the next step is amplify and expand. It's all about going back and doing everything else again. Nothing you do in business is ever going to be one and done, and you're going to do it perfectly. You're going to do something, and it's going to work now, and then all of a sudden it's going to stop working, or you're going to find something that works better, or you're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff, and you're going to find that it wasn't as effective. Give you an idea, we used to do active in our local association. So I was on the affiliate committee. I was the chairman of our affiliate board. I was Young Professionals Network. I was on the golf tournament committee. I was very active. And I was able to cut different pieces of that out when I realized that certain committees and certain sponsorships that I didn't have any success. We weren't getting anybody to come and take us up on our offers from those. And so a lot of this is looking at your business and figuring out what's working and what's not, cutting what doesn't work and doubling down on what is working. And some of this is if you want to build a team, it's building out SOPs and delegating. And there's a ton of tools inside of Pixel CRM that allow you to do that. Some of it is just going back and tweaking offers and coming up with new offers. The reason I teach transitional offers, not a specific type of transitional offer, is because you're going to do different offers, and it's going to run its course. You're going to get across, as many people as you can, and it's going to stop working as well. or it's going to get saturated. Other people are going to be offering that same thing. And so you just need to have the ability to create new offers as it comes up. And it's much easier to do that with a transitional offer, which is, just getting them to raise their hand. One of the ones that I like right now is a stock photo pack. So you do a of the local area, and I came up with it when agents were asking me for photos of the area for that they could use on their social media, on their website. And so I put this together, and I would actually deliver it through our delivery platform so they can see how we do business. And we would do that as a transitional offer. Like you could do a coupon book for real estate related, the handyman and carpet cleaners and painters and all of the stuff that people need to do to get the house ready for sale. You can put a coupon book together and give that out. You could do, your pre-shoot checklist, but expanded into the why behind it, like I was talking about earlier. You could do that as a lead magnet transitional offer. You could do Canva templates as a transitional offer. Any number of different things. You're going to have different offers because this is going to hit right. This is going to match your target market, and they're going to respond to it well. And so you want to be able to, go back to those same people and give them a different offer and give them to raise their hand. Everybody wants, marketing to just be one and done. I'll just, build this and it'll just run forever. It'll run for a while, but you have to go back and you have to tweak, and you have to adjust. You have to, I wouldn't say constantly, but you have to systematically go back and start building additional pieces to your process. You're going to go through and you're going to read this book and you're going to say, I want to do all of it right now. And you're going to rush through it, and you're going to get some pieces done. You're going to get some pieces, half-assed, and it's going to work. You're going to start seeing success, and then you're going to want to go back and tweak it and fix it, and maybe add additional steps to your nurture process, additional pieces, going through, and you'll add different offerings and what have you, and you're going to need to plug that into your process. And so it really is from start to finish, all the systems you need to install, and then how to do it.
That's amazing what you've built. Good job. I love it. There's so much there. If you guys ever wanted a crash course in marketing and how to reach your clients and retain them and connect with them and get reviews, this is it. Like, that book has everything that you need, it sounds like, from start to finish.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Get, nurture, retain. Yeah. Clients, get old ones back. That's the best part. I love that. And that is scary for me. Like, that sounds terrifying, to reach out to old clients, and but the way you do it is genius. I love that. So
well, and then the fourth and step of that process that's optional. You don't have to do it, but is just send them an email and say, are you still in real estate?
Oh yeah.
And that just flips the script all together. They're like, wait, what are they saying here? And they respond back, of course I'm still in real estate. Who are you to say I'm not in real estate? He's like, well, you haven't, you're not booking any listings.
Right.
Yeah, you are. You're right. I haven't done any listings. Or they say, nope, I'm no longer in real estate. And you're going to get more and more of that as the years go on, because the average realtor is getting older and older and older. I'm not sure what the NAR stat is this time, but one of the last times I looked at the NAR stat, it was something like a 56-year-old female was the average realtor as a member of NAR. And so they're getting older and older, and they're starting to retire. And you're going to see more and more of that. And so you're going to get these people who you did choose for 10 years ago that they're just not in real estate anymore. And by asking that, it's a valid question, because you want to make sure that your marketing list is fresh and up to date, and you're not spending resources on people that aren't going to be in the business anymore. And so asking them, hey, are you still in real estate? It's not necessarily a negative, but you are going to get those responses. Some people are going to say, no, I hung up my license and I'm not doing it anymore. Great. Would you mind referring us to some of the people? Because here's the thing, they're already doing that. They already got into that mindset, because almost every realtor that retires, they have a book of clients. They have people that they are going to be referring them to from an agent standpoint. So why shouldn't they refer you to those agents as well?
Right.
And so
good point.
It's the full life cycle.
Yeah.
All the way through.
That's great. I didn't know the realtor age was that old.
That's because most people are targeting the younger ones, because those are the ones that want the flashy videos.
Exactly. These older ones are like, what? I got to get on camera?
But that's why magnetic messaging and understanding your target market and your USP is so important. Why that's the first thing that we focus on in the book is because if you don't know who you're going after, all the rest of your offers, all the rest of everything else you build is going to fall short. And quite frankly, there's different markets. You could target luxury. You could target the middle of the road high volume agent. You could target Airbnb. You could target builders. You could target, first time agents, but you're probably going to, spend a lot of money and not get much because, well, they don't have listings. But, so to give you an idea, I was talking to one of our clients, one of our users that is going through this and building out their offers. And they were putting together a how to shoot real estate video yourself guide. And he was, putting it all together and it's like, this is great. People love this. And it's like, okay, probably. And you'll probably get people who want it. But what kind of person are you going to get with that kind of a transitional offer? You're going to get people who want to shoot video themselves.
Right. Not your ideal client.
Not your client.
Exactly. And so if your ideal client is somebody who shoots their own stuff and only books you for photos, yeah, that might make sense. But if you want to, increase your average order value and do video and do all of these other things and stuff and not attract that done for you or done DIY realtor, then maybe you should do something slightly different that attracts your target market rather than somebody who's not.
Exactly. It's so important to know your target market for sure. That way you can talk directly to them.
Rach, can you imagine if you had to go back to a world pre-HD Photo Hub?
Oh, no way. No, HD Photo Hub literally saved my life during the COVID craze. With online ordering, their invoicing, the photo delivery, the Google integration, and just having everything on one platform, HD Photo Hub really does it all. And I cannot imagine my business without it.
Same. Pre-HD Photo Hub, I feel like I was just spending all my time chasing my own tail. It was horrible. The good news is our listeners get a special deal. If you enter the code STS, you're going to get 10 free full marketing kit deliveries. Remember, enter the code STS. So if we're looking to get the pixel marketing method, I know that I have it on my phone through Audible, and it's pretty much everywhere, right, Pete?
It is. It's on Amazon. It's on ebook, audiobook versions. If you want a free copy, just pay shipping. Go to pixelmarketingmethodbook.com and you can read more about it there. Get the book, and I'll ship it out personally to you.
Cool. Literally, an actual book. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it is an actual book.
That's a legit substantial book you're holding up right there.
Yeah, it's 200 plus pages. It's actually a physical book. You can get it obviously in ebook and everything like that, but I wanted something that people could, the thing is that if I just sent you a PDF, it'd be another thing on your computer. You're not going to read it.
Yeah, it's true.
But with a book, you're actually going to get the value. You're going to go in there and you're going to highlight the strategies as you go through it.
Definitely.
To give you one of our early users and who I quote in the book quite a bit, I sent him the link to, and he was traveling around Europe. And so he bought the ebook version and read it there. And he, especially once he realized his name was in it, was like, ooh, I've got to read this even deeper. He came back. When came back, he bought the physical book so he could actually physically get into it and highlight and go through it. Besides the fact that his name's on it.
Yeah, I do that. Sure. I a lot of times buy them on Audible. And then if I really like it, I'll buy it and actually read it and highlight. Because I absorb maybe 20% when I listen. You just don't... Personally, I'm driving a lot of times, so my focus is split as well. But when I read the book, that's all I'm doing. I'm really focused. So it's easier for me to really dive in.
And that's why I did all the different versions, including the audiobook. I recorded it myself and uploaded it and did all of that because I was one of you. I was a real estate photographer, and I know I spent a lot of time in the car. I did a lot of podcasts and whatnot because that's when I had the most time to learn. And so that's why we did those options. And I know that Alex Ramosi actually recommends having the physical book and the audio book, and play the audiobook and read at the same time. And you'll hit different parts of your brain and you'll retain more of it.
Yeah. Have you tried that?
No. So
it's fun.
So the thing is I listen to everything at the max speed I can. Well, to it's like it's 2x on I think on audio on the Apple Podcasts. I think that's as high as it goes, and I'll watch YouTube at 3x.
Wow. Can you
So
even hear what they're saying? I can go like 1.5 usually on Audible, depending on the author.
it's funny that the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more you can get into it, and it does take a little bit more focus, which I think is even better because then you actually are. I think I retain more by going faster because I'm not. My brain works faster than the 1x anyway. Yeah, and so I don't think of other things.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. So,
well, if you guys are interested in the book, you know where to find it. We'll put the link below so you can get that free copy. You just have to pay shipping. And if you want to follow Pete over at Pixel CRM on Instagram, Facebook, are you on YouTube as well?
Yes, we are on YouTube, and we did just start doing the Pixel Marketing Show.
Cool.
We'll have more marketing advice there as well.
I love it. So if you just want more of this juicy goodness, go follow him over at the
So Pete's always referred to
Pixel Marketing Show.
yes. I've heard that so much.
Juicy goodness.
Juicy goodness. Thanks so much, Pete.
And I will be at Pierre Marie. I know.
Yes.
Both of you will be there, won't you?
Yep,
right?
We'll be there.
Just booked my flight and hotel like 2 days ago. I was like, I should do that.
Nice. We will probably have a big box of books there, and probably be doing some book signing and stuff too. So if you guys want to get a free copy, I recommend getting it now so you can actually start working on it and implementing in your business. But if you want a signed copy, we'll be at Pierre Marie with that as well.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing you there, Pete.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Pete. So glad to have you. And we look forward to see you at PMRE too. Cool.
Absolutely. Always my pleasure to serve.
Thanks for listening to the Pixel Marketing Show. If you're ready to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results, grab your free copy of the Pixel Marketing Method at pixelmarketingmethodbook.com. If this episode helped you, share it with another real estate media business owner. Make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Until next time.